All right, welcome to Let 'em Cook. It's a little show we doing. We kind of interview people who got a little motion going on, maybe business owners, artists, fashion, etc. And today, I got this guy that, in my opinion, he has a pretty cool perspective, especially on the topic we'll be talking about today. So without further ado, I present the great Ed Banks. What's up, bro?
Not much, man. Glad to be here another day. I don't know about the great part, but
Oh man, that's what it is.
I'll contribute my little effort.
That's what's up. Well, of course, with the I know, man, we always talk about the crypto,
All right.
and I know we've been talking about doing this for a minute, like kind of like getting the word out, what's going on in the crypto area, and of course we'll talk about other stuff too. We're gonna start off on crypto. So, what is cryptocurrency, and how does it differ from the traditional currency?
Okay. To get it all started, crypto is just new technology. It don't matter where you at in life or where we all at in life. It's just new technology. The world, our children, our grandchildren, the youth are going into a quantum future, and basically, the money's outdated. To try to keep it simple instead of going through a lot of the term, the money's outdated. The world's ready to go into a quantum future, and you can't take paper money with you. So crypto, when people hear about crypto, they mostly think of Bitcoin because that's the one especially if you're not involved in, knowing the details about it. But it's just new technology that they're finding ways to use it, blockchain technology. And one of the first ways is to turn paper money and traditional legacy accounts. All that is the stuff we use right now, and make it everything digital. The end goal is to have everything digital, everything fast, transparent. It'll go on a blockchain that will record everything we do, like from buying a piece of gum to paying your mortgage to everything that requires money now. In the future, it'll be digital and it'll be recorded on a ledger, or a ledger's like it'll be documented online and you can't change it. That's the ultimate goal.
Okay. So, can you break down like decentralization and what that means, as far as like the absence of, the absence of the central authority? Like, what is that gonna look like?
From what I understand, and I do not know the whole concept, but centralized means somebody controls the majority of it. And we know the world we live in. We know the country we live in, and how everything's about control, regardless of what somebody says or tells you. It's everybody, the people who consider themselves on the next level, the rich, they want to control everything. That's just how it's been. Decentralized mean that it's not controlled by the majority. It gives you the concept that you got a fair chance, that it's neutral. Of course, if it's centralized, then probably the founders or the owners or whatever is controlled by, the majority is controlled by one entity. So you want to believe, which a lot of these technologies and blockchains, even exchanges, crypto exchange, they all want to tell you and use the word that they're decentralized. But behind the scenes, a lot of them are just lying. They are centralized. But it's also when you got a new technology, just like when the internet came in, and it had to evolve over years. What you was mentioned a minute ago about if our parents or grandparents had invested in some of the things like the Apples and the Microsofts and the Teslas and stuff, and you just want your community, you just want everybody, your friends, families, everybody just to start sticking your nose into blockchain technology, which translates into crypto, because this is a financial reset coming, which they don't talk about it. They try to keep it under the rug. But this is an opportunity to start learning first. Don't invest your money. Learn something. Put a little time in learning about this new technology where you can put your fingerprint in, invest a little bit, that you never know, in a few years or 5, 10 years, or even for the next generations, you can really financially change your life. But you got to put some effort into it. I mean, all you got to do is cut back on social media a little bit. Take 20 minutes away from IG. Take another 20, 25 minutes away from Facebook, and just it's educating yourself, man. Education is truly money. I didn't know that years ago, but education is truly knowledge. All equates to, finances.
Okay, so you was talking about the financial reset.
Yeah.
So I've been hearing stuff about the BRICS nations where they saying like, what is it? Brazil, Russia, Iran, China, South Africa.
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, but they done increased. That's just the title. When those are the originals, BRICS. But they've added many countries since then.
That's what I heard. So,
they're way bigger than we know of. But of course, American TV is only going to limit how much you get to hear. Because a lot of information that we share with each other across the globe is on social media. That's why they want to control social media so much. That's why you can get kicked off. I mean, I'm not even big on social media. I could really care less, but that's like a punishment now that, social media is so serious and so big that it's like a punishment. If you say something, say the wrong thing, if you bring up the wrong topic, they can just cut you off. Because we get to communicate with each other across the globe without it always being censored by them,
Mm-hmm. So basically, what's up with the BRICS? Like it's like, okay.
This is the BRICS, bro.
Okay.
Other countries are tired of being bullied by the American dollar. That's all it boils down to. Everything from sanctions to, commodities. Everything's going on. So this has been going on for years before we were born, and the countries are coming together, and they work with each other. And they're coming together. What can we do to get off and under the control and dominance of the American dollar? This is not even backed by nothing but debt. So, that's why gold is going crazy now, and silver and precious metals, because the stuff we seeing now, these leaders of countries been knowing this for years. So you got countries stockpiling gold and other tangible assets because they knew this day was coming, and it's still going to come. But that's the main thing that the BRICS are. You had some countries get together. How can we not stop getting bullied by the American dollar?
So basically, what you're saying, because I know you remember. Saddam. Was it Saddam Hussein? Who I think he was trying to create a currency to sell his oil.
Yeah.
Because he was tired. Because he knew that our money wasn't really worth anything. And then, of course, they went over there and told us that he was
weapons of mass destruction.
Yes, over there, and then they ended up killing him.
Yeah.
Taking all the oil, allegedly. We're gonna say allegedly.
Well, they had us thinking oil, but they also, it's stuff that we just ain't supposed to know about, or different types of information come out. Not saying that everything comes out as true, but we took a lot more than oil. They took that country's, anything that could take a value, whether it be, I'm not gonna say they had technology, but they surely took all their gold over there.
Yeah, and then of course you had Gaddafi. You heard about Gaddafi. He
Yeah.
was about to do the same thing. He was about to create a currency backed by the resources of his land.
Yep, use the resource within their country instead of letting all these outside countries come in and keep their country in shambles and conflict, and they wanted to use it to generate revenue for their own country. Gaddafi, it's like his TV's gonna put out what they want.
Yeah.
When they get to control everything we see because it works. It's like an old blueprint or playbook. But Gaddafi was a great leader for his country. The education was free in Gaddafi, even through college. Gaddafi even paid if you wanted to go to other countries or come to America and get education, free. Healthcare, free. So TV can always show you a certain perception. They show you the negative and the bad and want us to think that all these countries are third world and they just over there. Man, can't believe everything that comes off TV.
And then, of course, the powers that be went over there and handled him. They went on and took him on out.
Who's that?
Huh?
Which one?
They took Gaddafi out.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was trying to make his own currency.
Yeah, want to make his own currency. Yep.
It's basically if a country try to create a currency to overpower the American dollar, America go over there and just Dead.
Well, you know that of course you'll have some people America. No, they don't do that, but it's just powers that happen. But see what they did, they figured out if you try to do something solo against the American dollar, you done. So they just teamed up, and then not just teaming up with a bunch of little small countries that don't have a bunch of authority. You're talking about Russia, China, Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia was always we was always in business with Saudi Arabia. That's where the petrodollar come from. That 50-year agreement that America signed with Saudi Arabia that ended, I think, in 24 last year or the year before.
Let's go there. All right. So, what happened to the American dollar? Like,
man, the American dollar used to be backed by.
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
It used to be backed by gold.
Okay.
And even silver at times, from what I know. And if I get something wrong, so what? Don't care. And I think it was Nixon around 71, 73. He detached the American dollar from precious metals, from gold, and put us. Then we become the petrodollar. Okay. So it's backed by oil. Saudi Arabia, 50-year a 50-year deal. They had Saudi Arabia that America told Saudi Arabia that if anybody buys your oil, no matter where they're buying it from in the world, just make them use American dollar to buy it. So let's say you got your own currency. You got the Brooks dollar, and you do revenue and transactions and commodities and everything in your country to build your own dollar up. But you need to buy oil from Saudi Arabia. Well, you can't use your dollar. You have to use the American dollar, which in turn requires you to hold American money, American bonds, and a lot of more stuff, So, but that deal ended. And I know Biden was going over there trying to get them to, renew the deal, and they chose not to. And they actually went and joined the BRICS nations.
So what you're saying, they went and joined the same group trying to destroy our dollar now.
Yeah, I mean, of course you're going to look at it that they want to destroy the dollar, and they might be, but I don't think I don't think they care so much about destroying the dollar. I really don't. Of course, that's what we're going to be fed. You got to have something like they're always trying to attack America. They want to get out from under the, the pressure, the slavery of the American dollar. Man, each country wants their own country to flourish and build up their own economies. But sanctions is one of the biggest things that a lot of other countries were tired of, and it was because of the American dollar. Because let's say me and you have a conflict, and you won't do business with me anymore. But you done told all your allies, your friends, hey, if I ain't doing business with Ed, y'all can't do business with Ed, even though me and them ain't got no problems. So it's a lot going on, but it's not what's presented to us across television and all that. There's a lot more to it.
Okay, so you was talking about the financial reset. So this is going to play into the financial reset pretty much.
Yeah, it's a part of it.
Okay, so what you think's the play in your opinion?
It's hard to say, man. Really, instead of me trying to figure out something across the whole world, I want to find my spot, my lane that I can get in and prosper and benefit from it. Taking all the knowledge, education you can. Dedicate some time to figuring out, crypto, the technology, who's using, what's being adopted. That's the main thing, is adoption. Anything that you have, you want to find out what's being adopted across the world. Because if any product, no matter what it is, if it's going to be used, it's valuable, and it's going to increase in value. So I just wish, man, people take some time, just start out, instead of thinking everything is complicated, start out slow and just start learning. Stick your nose into blockchain technology, this new technology, crypto. Start learning some of the basics, start learning some of the verbiage, little definitions, and start investing. Because nobody wants to invest in something they don't understand. Unless you just trust somebody like the business, you give your money to somebody and tell them to do it. But it's so much better if you have a basic understanding of what you're investing in.
So what would you say to the people? Because I know a whole lot of people talk about they think it's a scam and all that.
Well, there has been scams that come out of crypto.
Yeah.
But what people, man, get so blindsided, can they think of something that hasn't had a scam in it?
Man.
America, hey, paper money in all these countries are scams.
Yeah, they print it every day.
Hell, Comcast is a scam. You know, so everything that somebody puts together can be a scam. So, you know, a lot of them, they hear about the negativity about crypto, where somebody maybe stole some money or crypto from somebody. You know, different exchanges or project turned out to be a rug pull, where they just took your money. That's going to happen. That happens in life every day. But don't let that small percentage of things, a negativity, stop you from still learning, growing, investing, and prospering from a new technology that's coming.
Yeah, because I be noticing, man, like you can buy Bitcoin on Cash App, and they got like, I'm seeing a whole lot of commercials now about cryptocurrency, and of course,
Yeah.
in LA, they got it used to be the Staples Center, now it's the Crypto.com Center.
Yep.
And then, of course, if you look, what was that, Coinbase went public a couple years ago.
Yep.
So, I mean, people better really start peeping game or whatever. Like,
You do.
Because when you start seeing it.
That's exactly right.
Hey.
If they're putting hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in it,
In marketing.
and marketing, investment, doing all these non-disclosure with NDAs, non-disclosure deals. It's so much stuff goes on that we don't even hear about. But if they're investing their money into it, forget what they tell you. You follow the money.
Right.
That's been something we've heard when we were kids and coming up, but it stands true. Follow the money, regardless of what they feed you. You will have places, Bank of America, for example. It was Warren Buffett had got a big stake in Bank of America maybe last year or the year before, where he sold a lot of his stocks and invested in Bank of America. And I remember watching him and listening to him say he will not buy no crypto. He's not buying Bitcoin. So they'll tell us anything, and then they own bukus of it, man. You can't go by just what they show you. That's where it comes into investing your time and studying, learning, you know, a little reading, growing. Quit thinking it's like, dang, I don't feel like doing it. You know, quit thinking it's if once you get involved in crypto and you understand that the direction that it's heading, the technology, you know, what they want to achieve is actually exciting, you know.
All right, so say for somebody who's getting into it, what's some good coins would you suggest? Like, what's your top 5 coins? Or something you invested in, and why you invested in it?
Well, if somebody's really getting into it new, they need to start off by, you know, don't even worry about putting no money in yet. But this is time sensitive. You got to get started, but learn a little bit. You know, even if it's something down to watching videos, looking up definitions. You know, I mean, we got so many avenues of resources from, you know, IG, YouTube, everything. Go watch you some videos, get a better understanding. Start jotting your notes down. But it's a system called the ISO 20022 system, which I know we're familiar with it. But yeah, but it's just an example. Like when you see when you see something that's been going on and it's always active, and you know, even though people have different opinions and disagree, start paying attention. It's something to it. Don't be so naive that you think there's nothing to it.
Yeah.
So, but crypto, back to the answer, man. I just wish everybody, man, seriously, man, this transfer of wealth is coming. Yes, they don't like, you know, some platforms don't like you to talk about it. They don't want the word to spread, because the fewer people that realize it is the more that the people who are already in control with the wealth are going to keep it. But that's why so many distractions, a lot of stuff that's going on in the world, even in our country, some of it is just distractions. Whether it's that fake swing by Will Smith or Diddy and all that other crap, man, a lot of stuff is just to keep people distracted, and to especially keep our people distracted from seeing the opportunity in front of you of, you know, really changing your life financially, you know, changing your whole bloodline financially. But ISO 20022 is what I would recommend any newcomer to start. It's already live and active in America, but November 22nd is the deadline that the whole country will be on this system. And all that system is taking over the current legacy system of Swift, and it's messaging. That system is messaging, sending messages, because we don't realize before money goes, the message goes. Yeah, so you got, and when myself, whether I'm speaking to a friend, anybody's new in it, you don't want to overwhelm people with too much. So I would recommend the ISO 20,022 coins, 20022, which leading that is XRP by the company Ripple, XLM, little brother, by the company Stellar Lumens, and XDC by XFin. But the 3 X's is what I would tell anybody to start at. But man, I just if it's anything that I can offer, which we're talking like this in front of people. We've been helping people for years, Nick, Will, Courtney, the whole crew, you, Josh. But man, we just try to share the message with as many people as we can. And we get the jokes and the kickbacks and the aggravation. Why ain't you hit it, Rich? And why y'all still doing this? And it's always funny until it happens. You see what I'm saying? And then we've helped a lot of people, and there's a lot of people they have an open mind. They're interested in this. They just don't know how to get started, or they don't know where to go. It's confusing. They just need a little help, a little push start. Mm-hmm. That's why soon DBE will be coming, and DBE LLC Consulting, and I need all of y'all to come and support my LLC, and we're gonna get this going.
So what is it called? It's called what?
DBE, Digital Blockchain Entry.
So you're gonna be kind of like, you're gonna sort of teach
yeah, man. Man, I do it anyway. Been doing it for 4 years. Okay. Now it's time to make a few dollars off of it.
Crypto?
About 4, right around 4 years, 4.5 years.
Okay.
No, I ain't gonna say 4.5, about 4.
So you got about 21?
Huh?
You got in about 21?
Yeah.
21?
Yeah. I was doing the stock market. You know how we was all stuck in the house during COVID, and that was all crazy. So that's when I jumped in the stock market and got slaughtered.
Sure.
Yeah, got slaughtered, man.
So we jumped in on the way down.
No, I jumped in at good times. I didn't know enough. Jumping in, wanting to get rich in 24 hours. Yeah. And, not putting in the time to learn, study, know the verbiage. And then, of course, it's just like gambling. It's luck. Yeah. But you still, you got to educate yourself, wherever you're going to put your money.
I don't think it's luck, bro. I don't think that's luck.
Some of it's luck. I see some of it's luck. Anything that's flowing back and forth, some of it's luck.
They know how it works though. It's like, cause
well, they do. I'm talking about for regular people.
Yeah, I know. I got in like 2017, and that's when Doge was like cheap.
I wish I had got into. I wish I had got in way earlier than when I did, man.
I done seen a whole lot of money slip through my fingers, bro.
Man, it's all jokes aside, man. When people just got to understand, and especially I want our people to. And if you're hearing about it and you're seeing it so much, it's time to just pause and stick your nose in it, get off into it. It's don't be left behind. Don't be that naive to think you're seeing it everywhere and it doesn't mean anything. Forget the videos and all the social media crap and the likes, and it's nothing wrong with that if you're off into that. Take some of that time and educate yourself into this new financial system. And this is the thing about it. I don't talk to, some people not ready for it. You don't judge nobody. I'll talk to people like, oh, that just ain't my thing, or I don't do that, man. I'm a guy joke with me. I'm keeping my money under the mattress, whatever. This is one thing that, like, anytime we went to talk to groups or we just helped anybody we see, that I try to end with to try to put that strong point at the end of trying to help somebody out is you're going to deal with crypto and this new technology, whether you like it or not, unless you did. It's not your choice. We always think I ain't got to. No, it's not going to be your choice. You're going to deal with it some way or the other. You're going to deal with it and be using it and not even know you're using it with your banking cards, with your credit cards, with buying a house with certain type of things that you finance, cars, whatever. So you're going to deal with it. But for everybody that thinks they're just going to hold out, if you know that you have to do something, why not go ahead and jump in early and learn more about it and get a head start before everybody else comes? Because one of the things about this investment is you want to get in now and get established, and get your, whatever you're going to do, get your cryptos, get your position, because that's what you're doing. You're building a position before the mass, which is everybody, when they're forced to come, when it's not your choice anymore. Because what you buy today at 10 cents, 6 months, a year, 2 years, you're going to sell it to somebody else for $1, $2. But wouldn't you much rather build it up today at 10 cents? You can get a lot more buying 10 cents than buying $2,
Yeah, sort of like, I remember, of course, when the internet came out, people shopping online. I was like, man, shopping online, like we used to go into the store, put our hands on it, or I guess maybe banking or something. But now it's like a way of life. I remember the cell phones. It was like had to buy minutes, the nights and weekends now.
At nights and weekends.
Hey, internet, man. Internet is like a. It's like so integrated into our lives. It's like we really couldn't live without it.
Not now.
But in the 90's, you remember, it was like, man, whatever. Like, okay.
Man, the 80's and 90's to come through, man, walking around with a pocket full of quarters because we had payphones then.
Yeah.
And if you was at the crib and the house phone, it might be on 1 month, it might be off 2 months. Hey, you had to have your quarters. Hey, let your beeper get lit up and make your calls. But everything has to evolve, for every generation, and you just gotta hope that you get to see things that evolve. You want to see it early and see where you can get in, get established, get your position, and see where you can profit off of it. I know it's always connected with money, but you also just want to be up to par on the new technology. I've never been that guy that's been in the front when it comes to technology. Having kids, I was terrible with computers because I just get one of my kids to do it instead of me learning myself. But then it came a time when I had to learn.
We're going to pivot to some current events. And what's been popping, like this guy named Charlie Kirk, man. Like, I didn't really know who he was, but it's like he's like the Messiah now. So like, he ain't no damn Messiah. Regardless of what they try to make him, he's not no Messiah. I didn't really even know him until recently when he was killed, and then you catch it. I got to hearing what so many people talking about him. And I went back and looked at some of his points, Christian and who he was with, and then the thing about it, I was trying to catch up with everybody else. Like, man, what happened? Who is this guy? People are really stirred up about this and whatnot, and tried to learn about it and heard, all the things, and then all of it wasn't good. But it's like, you ain't supposed to say that. You can't say that about, I don't even know the dude, but no, everything he did wasn't good. And then, people so naive. How did it go from him being killed, now it's turned into like they're trying to start a race war? Yeah,
it was white on white crime, and I even seen where a person was mad about that phrase being used. They was pissed off on the line and said that was racist to say white on white crime, which I don't think you should put a color on crime. But how many dang years have we had to listen to black on black crime? Crime is crime, man. It no matter what color you are. So it's one of those things that we know where we live. We know how this world is, and how people want to be who they are, and they want their way. That man, from what I understand, him getting killed, unfortunate for his family. Of course, he had children. It had nothing to do with race. And then all the
why they trying to make it about
a distraction, another distraction. How long has race been used as a flame, as kindling to get something started? It's in and out. It's in and out. But no, I really didn't know much. I didn't even know the guy, honestly. I didn't know him until it had happened. And then you know how you kind of bum rushed with, because that's all that you saw. And I picked up on, then some of the guys, some of the friends knew him, and they shared with who he was and some of his points and views and whatnot. And so it's one of them things that, what got me is how it's really got people. He has such a big following, and how it's got people just bringing this stuff that, to me, they dishonoring the legacy that he did have in some ways with all the controversies they're using. It's just like this unfortunately happened to him, and it's going to be used. It's going to be used for negativity. But, from looking at a lot, and I know every time you see something online, and it's not necessarily true, but looking from a lot of the information that came out, how naive they think Americans are, how it was so many people involved in taking his life.
So you think it was from the higher ups?
Oh, of course, man. But then for them to take that man's life, destroy his family like that, and then use that to make it a racial conflict, and people fall for it. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Instead of, the people who do believe in it, his followers, is pushing the agenda of the truth, trying to find out why they did this to him. Who did this to him?
So you think it wasn't the sniper? You don't think he did it?
I have no idea, man. I've seen it. Today with AI and technology, just like we love watching movies out of Hollywood, you never know what's real, what's fake. But a lot of those videos came from people, and a lot of stuff is suspect. It's evident that it was, I don't know who, but it's evident it was multiple people involved in taking that man's life.
Yeah.
But look how they twist and turn it, that they get you away from pushing and driving like we want answers. Who did this to him? And who took him out, to allowing them to let you steer it into like race and all this other crap. Like they've been doing. Man, the playbook ain't changed. The blueprint ain't changed. It's been going on for generations, decade, man. Except now with technology, they can fool your eye so much. They can fool the eye. AI we've been watching how many Terminators for all these years? They trying to make it come true. Man, you can see stuff on, AI can deceive you so much. But look, a lot of it's biblical. It's only the scripture coming true. Everything has to come to pass before, Yahushua comes back.
So what about AI? Like, what do you think about AI? You think
AI
it's
is
dangerous, or you think
both. AI is beneficial. It's a great technology, but it's like everything else. It depends on how you use it. And everything's experiments now. So what we see today, it's going to look a lot different in 5, 10, 20 years.
Man.
Because the more AI comes together, I seen one article, and I don't even know if it's true or not, but I believe it is. But it was I know one of them had to deal with a Meta.
Okay.
But
like Facebook.
Like Facebook. But it was this might have been a year, maybe longer. But with the AI, they actually somebody came across 2 computers that were not connected. Well, like through code and stuff, speaking to each other, and they called it, and it said it was shut down, and I guess they dealt with it, but that's not the first, that's not the last. What's gonna happen the less we do and depend on AI?
Yeah, it's
dumbing us down. Then when AI takes over everything, what are we gonna be able to do about it? Man, they ain't nothing but Terminator, man.
But you gotta think, like, it ain't really gonna affect us, but it's gonna affect probably our grandkids.
Yes.
Like our kids and our grandkids.
Yes, absolutely. We don't even know if it'll make it that long before, God sends Yahushua back to get us. You don't know, man. But, man, it's just scripture, man. Even though it's not verbatim word for word, it's just scripture. Man, it has to come to pass.
Yep. Well, I want to tackle one more topic. I know you was a part of, we here in Sumner County, You was a part of the glory years.
Oh, yeah.
Sports in the 90s.
Yeah, I made. Hey, what I say? Get in there. I put my stamp down, my fingerprint.
So tell me, so how was it living through as far as sports? Like,
Sports was great here, man. We was a powerhouse. Man, everybody knew about Gallatin, Tennessee in the South, not just in Tennessee. Man, hey, the program here was ridiculous. Had the greatest set of coaches, man. And, you know, if you say something nowadays, everybody always taking it. So, well, you're talking about such and such. I don't care. Man, the coaching staff back then was so legit. What I see from my own opinion, you know, coaching all my kids when they were playing in City League and coming up through the ranks, what's missing in a lot of sports now is the fundamentals. And, man, we came up where, you know, you played a city ball, which, you know, was different colors, the Orange Rebels and the Bengals and all of them. And then you transitioned over to junior high, and you had the legendary Coach Martin. And that's where you really started with the Green Wave program. And then, of course, you on up through the ranks of high school. But, man, back then the coaching staffs was so legit. They taught you how to play football, how to do something. One thing that I noticed in coaching in City League, you got so many guys out there, maybe they played, maybe they didn't, so many dads trying to just guide their kids through. And I'm guilty of this, maybe not in sports, but even in life, even as a parent, and, you know, mistakes we make. When you verbally want the youth to understand something, but you didn't show them. So if you're speaking a verbiage that they hear you, they're listening, but they just don't know what you're talking about. But you're not showing them. And so Green Wave football then, we were a powerhouse. You know, it was only 3A. You know, the class of 1993, we won the last AAA state championship. It wasn't no 6 champions, 7 champions, and you can have a 5-5 record and go to the playoffs. No, you're done. You lose more than 2 games, you were done.
Okay. So
you know,
top 5, we're going to say top 5 in Gallatin sports.
That's hard because I didn't get to see everybody. You know, I got to hear about the greats that were before me, and I didn't get to see them.
Like Tiny and Jimbo? I always heard about Tiny.
Well, I played with Tiny and Jimbo. They were beasts. They were athletes, could play everything. Jimbo, all around, you know, you got to watch how you say something, people offended. All around sports, he's the greatest I've ever seen in person, hands down. All state and everything. And he believed it, you know, so he could do it all.
Football.
He could do it all. You know, people who played with him and came in, he could do it all. Just pick a sport. You know, he was easily an all-state point guard. You know, at football, he could do it all. He could play quarterback, running back, linebacker, DB. I mean, baseball was probably, in my opinion, his best sport. And he's one of the best ever. He's one of the best. Now, Tiny did his part. You know, I think Tiny recently, maybe 2 years ago or a year ago, he's in the Gallatin Hall of Fame now. But Tiny was a beast, and he did his. But just back then, you know, of course, Markel was the best thing that we had seen during my time, as far as just God gifted, you know, skill set and everything. But we were just good, man. But it was the team, you know. And back then, Gallatin dominated in the trenches. Man, you know, back then, even if we didn't have the biggest guys, they just were fundamental and could block. Man, Coach Duke might be one of the best fundamental coaches that I know of. And it could have been coaches better than him before then. But, man, that's the thing that's missing from sports in some places, is they're skipping the fundamentals. Mm-hmm. It's about, you got so many coaches want to draw up the Madden plays or the NCAA plays, and you're getting away from teaching them, at the youth, teaching them the fundamentals, then letting them grow and with the education and knowledge of the sport. We were just tough back then, man. But, you know, in my time, man, you know, Jimbo was a beast. Our line was good. Everybody was good, man. We was a team. That's one thing about the old Gallatin. It really was. I know it sounds like a cliche, but it was the team, man. Everybody did their part, man. Do your part. Special teams was deadly back then, man. Took pride in it. We practiced and worked on special teams just like offense and defense. And special teams won many games back in those days for Gallatin. You know, late Bubba Dunn. Bubba Dunn was one of the beasts. But I believe Bubba's one of them, could have, you know, went to a D1 college in football and had a chance to make it to the league.
What about Jimmy Hill. I remember as a kid listening to the games on the radio. And that's all I heard. Jimmy Hill want to play. Jimmy Hill want to play. Or the McMurray.
Man, like I said, you got so many athletes, but Jimmy Hill, no, Jimmy's the best. Hey, man.
I remember hearing Jody McMurray a whole lot. Jeremy.
You gonna hear? Hey, Jeremy was a beast, man. But you can go on and on with people did their part. Jimmy was different. He was different. And the thing about it, Jimmy wasn't even no mean guy. He wasn't even no mean dude. But like when he did get mad, it was and nobody could stop him. Man, dude was so athletic and so big, and it was just funny to him. He could do the stuff like small guys could do. I remember seeing him dunk two-handed, just playing around in the gym. And I was like, I just, he was easily 200-something plus pounds. That big, he dunking two-handed like it was a joke. Now, Jimmy was different. He was on another level than the rest of us. That's just being real. You got a lot of us was good. You got some better. They had their special things, but he supposed to play on Sundays. But hey, life is life.
You got any stories from back in the day playing sports?
Man, it was seriously, I'm 50 now. Thank the Heavenly Father. Man, them was the funnest days. High school was the best. And I done heard people say they didn't like high school. Was the best, man. Back then, because remember, with no technology, it was you. Everybody had their little crew. You had your friends. You running around chasing the girls, of course, playing ball. Man, you was outside, man. It's like you was more connected, just like, whether it's with nature, just with activities. Everything wasn't this. You engaged with people. You had to. That was the only way we knew it. So, man, it was the best, man. I loved high school, man. I loved it. Hey, even though, sometimes you thought it was bad if you didn't have what everybody else had, but, hey, look at us now, man. No bills, no pressure, no mortgage. Didn't have to worry about that. I loved it, man.
I remember you telling a story about y'all was on a trip. Y'all snuck out the dorm room.
Tennessee Tech.
Got on y'all. Can you tell us?
No, I ain't gonna tell it. I ain't gonna do my boy like that. He'll be ready. He'll be ready to jump on me at the next school reunion. I ain't gonna. Look out.
Go ahead. Just.
I'm gonna leave his name now. Man, we on the. I don't know if it wasn't the Christmas camp. No, we went to a little summer camp at Tennessee Tech basketball camp. And so, we doing our games, we staying in the dorms, and we high school kids. It was fun, man.
Who was all on the team back then?
Man, that's back Tiny, Boo Rickman, Doug, Calvin, Damon, David Erickson. We Moan on there, fam, Jacoby, JoJo was on the team. I don't know if he was a player manager.
Reggie on there too?
Reggie was no.
Oh, so
No. Reggie was a freshman. Reggie was a freshman. We did this. Now he wasn't on.
Okay.
Man, I can't remember everybody. I wish I could remember everybody. Burt McCarders. We had those guys. I'm trying to think of the brothers. Of course, Doug and Calvin. Who else with us? Anyway, man, we snuck out one night. Coach Waller, we had to be in our dorms. Hey, Lorenzo Hassel, Brian Workins, because they come into play later. We all sneak out, man, and we bumped into somebody and they told us about a party. I think Boo might have come back and told us and got directions and everything. So we snuck out that night and we go to the party. And, man, we on foot. So it seemed like it was miles. I'm sure it probably wasn't. But we go to this party. We get there, man, and we get into the party, man. It's lame. It wasn't much action. So it's literally like a waste of time. So we stay and chill a little bit. It got boring. We leave. We're coming back. And I don't know what happened or why the police got after us. And we on this long road. So, of course, they coming and we dip on them. We breaking. And for some reason, we got to splitting up. And it was a church. And some of them took, I remember Boo and Tiny and them taking off behind this church. I remember Doug and them going that way. Not what Doug was, Calvin and some more. And some of the other guys, it's just guys went different places. So me and one of my partners,
what's his name? What we gonna call him?
We're gonna call him. We're gonna call him Alabama. Me and Alabama, man, we broke our own way, man. And he's in Alabama. One of them he was an athlete, man. He didn't even realize how athletic and how good he was back then. Growing up as a kid, you're still finding out about yourself. And man, he was an athlete, man. And so me and him break off. Cause this ain't playing. The police is chasing them. You know how the cars, woo, we see the lights. We come up to this duplex and it had a little hill on it. And you know your adrenaline pumping, you running. This Brittany, he jumps up over a fence that's beside the duplex. He seriously, people, you know how you hear stuff you don't believe. I watched him jump up and he landed on top of the fence, but he didn't know what was on the other side of the fence. And it's dark, it's night. We in another town, so he really could have hurdled this fence. And this fence was pretty tall. He jumped down and hid behind a trash can. The police is about. They seen us. They seen us turn right there. So I can't jump that damn fence. So I lay down on the ground, and there's a car right here. And, you know, of course, the smaller version of me, the skinny Ed, I scooted under the car, and I'm just sitting there on my face on the ground waiting. So the police pull in, and, of course, I'm on the ground, and, you know, trying not to breathe and tired, adrenaline pumping. He put that light, and I guess he seen Alabama behind the trash can. And so Alabama come off behind the can, and, you know, the cop was, you know, he was yelling. And he was cool, but you know he's rounding up kids. He's like, "Come out right now, I see you behind there. Come on out, come out, get your hands up, come and walk to the hood of this car." He just talking, and I'm under there, you know, trying not to breathe. And I'm like, "Dang, they got my boy," you know. Hey, like in old school, they got blue, they got old blue. they got blue. So all I can see is his shoes and his shins, and he's walking. And to the cop, and I hear the cop like, "Come over here right now, son. Calm down, you know. Come and get on the hood of this car." Blah. I'm like, "Damn, they got it." I'm sitting there trying to hope he don't see me. So I see his feet walking. He's coming past the car. Then I'm on the ground like this. Hey, feeling bad for him, whatever. His shoes stop, and I see one of his knees hit the ground right here beside the car, and I'm like, "What the is he doing?" And he stuck his head down, and he still had his hands up. And he stuck his head down like, "Come on, Ed, we caught. Let's give up." Hey, man, you talking about the anger that went through me. I'm furious. Like, no, this blanket did not just. Hey, when I made eye contact, every F-bomb is in my mouth looking at him. So now the cop realizes I'm under there, of course. He's like, "Somebody under there." He said, "Get over there." You know, he's screaming at me, whatever. Get up. And I'm come crawling out. He said, "Get your blank up here and then get on the hood." So after he let us calm down, he knew we were kids just tripping. And he's like, "We know y'all buddies is down there. Your buddies are scared out everywhere." He's like, "I'm giving y'all 30 minutes. Go get your friends." We told him what we was doing. We was from Gallatin. We had a basketball camp at the college. And he know we was out. He knew we was just out BSing. He told you, "I'm giving y'all 30 minutes. Go get your friends and get y'all tail back to campus." So we did. And only a couple of people gonna know that story who it is, because he'll be at the door ready to check me. So we get back to the dorm. Well, through the night, Coach Waller had got up, and he went to the bathroom, and two of the dudes, Lorenzo and Brian, had left their door open, cracked. So he looks in there and he seen they were gone. And so he went to bed. I don't know why he didn't check all the rest of the rooms, or we all would have been punished, but he didn't. And so the next morning we get in late, we sleep, whatever. We get up to go to breakfast. And, you know, the room was going around. They started to say, Coach got Lorenzo and Brian down on the college track, punishing them, because he found out they wasn't in their room when we all was gone together. So we was like, but hey, you know what? Brian, Renzo, they were G's. They didn't snitch. You know, they ain't like today. They didn't snitch. They went down there. Hey, they didn't even get to eat breakfast, and then they got punished down there. Hey, they took it on the chin. And man, it was just great times, man. That was so fun, man. And then, you know, we went the next day and got drilled. I'm saying we like I was a big part, knowing I wasn't. Hey, I was on the bench having a ball. So they got drilled the next day, and we coming back. And, you know, just pissed off about losing, you know, back when you really cared. Hey, Boo got to saying there wasn't enough room in the van. That's the story with Mo. Coach Waller stopped the van and put Moan and Jacoby out and make him walk back, and they rolled over.
You got Moan and Jacoby Malone.
Yeah. They got evicted up out the van. But, man, just the one message, I know we've been cutting up, the one message I just want to give to, you know, my neighbors, my brothers, my sisters, everybody. the whole community. For the Chinese, if you're yellow, white, black, blue, whatever, hey, you got to start sticking your nose into this new technology of blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies. Start learning about the crypto exchanges, which is very important, which is all that is a store. All a crypto exchange is a store to where you're going to buy your crypto. That's it. And where you can move, make swaps, exchanges. But people just got to start off and go ahead and start learning about it, because it's coming fast. It's here. It's not even coming. It's here. It's already happening.
It's sort of like you can control your own banking system.
You can be your own bank. See, now with this new technology, you're going to have institutions and companies fighting for us as customers to engage on their platforms and their business. But they're going to have, this time around, they're going to have to use real rewards, giving us back rewards, cash back, yield. They're going to have to give back to us, because technology is just changing everything. But the number one thing is you got to start learning, getting the knowledge, getting the understanding, because there is plenty of ways that you can lose your money. So at the same time, you speak about all the good. There is just like in everything in life, you can lose. It's not guaranteed. But quit falling for all these distractions of the world and in the country, and a lot of this, BS that they're throwing out there, the negativity, the racist crap, all of that. Quit falling for all of the distractions to keep you away from understanding where we at in life, what's happening, and this new financial reset that's already, it's not coming, it's already here. And it's being established, the foundations, the infrastructures, all of that's happening right now. And figure out how you can learn and reach out there and get your piece. Get your piece of the pie, as they say.
I appreciate you. Give me a little bit of your time. Just interview. Any last words you like to leave?
My last words is, of course, we live in a society and also the world that money, because you need money. We all know money is important. But I say this to all my believers of Yahushua, Jesus Christ. Man, we got to get your relationship. Your one-on-one relationship with God is the most important thing. Without that, money don't mean nothing. Legacies, all that don't mean nothing. But we gotta, stuff is so bad now, you gotta get your connection and your relationship with the Almighty Creator. Gotta quit being deceived. It's not just about going to church. It's not, I always wish everybody would take time to, seek the mercy of the Almighty God. Get your relationship one-on-one, speaking with Him, praying with Him. It don't have to be on social media. Your isolated relationship, and just give Him the glory and the praise and the thanksgiving He deserves for all He's done with us and created us and allowed us to be here. You got to have a relationship, because times are going to get worse in many ways, and money's not going to save us. A lot of things not going to save us. Guns is not going to save. Everybody think their gun is going to save them. It's going to be your relationship with the Almighty Creator.
Okay, so you got any, what's your social media tags so people can reach
Man, I barely know. My name on Facebook, I think my IG is EdBanks88. But YouTube, I don't even know. Look, I get on YouTube, I don't even know my login, man. I ain't never been big. But I know I got to improve on that, especially when I kick off DBE. DBE coming soon. And I'm gonna help everybody I can, and like I've been doing, and we're gonna get in this and get our footprint. We're gonna get our piece of the pie, and we're gonna be all right. And we're gonna, get ourselves situated, not just for yourself, for our children, our grandchildren, and our generations to come behind us.
Well, there you have it. Here with the great Ed Banks.
Man, if you don't take that great out, fella.
That's what it is on Let's Cook.
And yes, the 1993 Gallatin High class of '93, the greatest Gallatin team ever,
Man.
The greatest record in Gallatin history.
Hey, where's the lie?
There ain't no lie to it.
Oh,
It's in the books.
Anyway, but there you have it. This episode of Let's Cook. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit the like button. Y'all know what to do.
Y'all help him out. Everybody have a blessed week. Remember to put your Thanksgiving to the kingdom. We got to pray over our children. That's huge. Pray for each other. Love each other. Don't let them trick us with all that old race crap, all that distractions. Because people, we got to really realize they push that race factor. That ain't the most important thing to them. Money's always their agenda. It's just a different thing they use to try to manipulate it, cause conflict, whatever. Anyway, everybody be good. Have a great start of the week. And y'all come in here and like and support my man Brooks over here. And adios.
Peace out.